Oh wow, we actually won with this team.
7K dreamer please.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the second video for ALF Part 2 review. Okay, and this is the very big brain team that I came up with. We are actually using him in an offensive team, and here is gonna be 1 minute of full equipment changes because this is actually done in between my recording, and I was having a little bit of trouble with this team. Okay, so I had decided to give my entire equipment a big swap. Okay, so I'm gonna just explain the equipment, why I set it up this way, and then I'll go into why I'm actually making this team, and then we will proceed with the battles, okay? So mainly here I'm using Phi as my attack leader because okay, this team is not strong. I'm just gonna be straight up honest with you. The reason is because I don't have ALF at level 44, which means I don't have a defense buff. Unlike usually when you have Jack, you have a 3000 defense buff, and that actually is a lot. Okay, it mitigates a lot of damage. If you think that it does nothing, okay, it's just 3000, you are so wrong. Because after that, you will see in this video why even a 2000 defense that really matters. Okay, so the reason here is because I really need my Phi to proc her Agnes Flame. If my Phi doesn't do that fast enough, I will definitely die. So I'm banging on the chance that my Phi is gonna get her awaken skill up very quickly, very early, land the awaken skill, and that's it. Okay, so here I'm actually changing ALF over to a crit based build instead, then use Phi on speed, and my Teo is going to be my main counter here. So ALF is just going to be purely support. Okay, purely support. The other hero that I'm having on my team is Chip and Fenrir. So Fenrir is here to have HP control for me and also to buff my lethal rate to very good amounts so that my team has some potential damage there. Okay, and ignore the pet. Okay, the pet chat. Yeah, I changed the pet. I was testing whether Bronze and Bronzer was actually possible, but never mind. The low is actually good. Okay, so coming to the rationale of this team. Why did I go with this team? I was looking at all the heroes that have been released and who had the most number of 4-man AoEs. It turns out that Teo has 2, Chip has 2, Phi has 2, Fenrir has 1, and ALF of course has 2. So in my team there are 9 4-man AoEs, which means I will make the most out of ALF's passive, which is to buff 4-man AoEs by 40%. And as you saw, the damage that Phi will be dealing, this is not a 4-man AoE. So we'll look at a 4-man AoE later on. Over here you see that I got my Agnes Flame up very quickly, and that actually helped me a lot, right? Hopefully we don't die. I can't remember if this was the battle I won. But anyway, so 4-man AoEs, even Chip does a lot of damage. I wish we could see that soon. Okay, I wish we could see that soon, but trust me, I saw Chip doing a lot of damage and I was like, oh, okay, that actually is a thing. So I would say he does help a lot in this team. This is also a 4-man AoE attack. A very decent damage, I can tell you. 23,000. I mean, we have not been... it's a chain attack too, even better. We have not been seeing such damage from Chip. I mean, based on whatever I was testing earlier on. My Chip is only level 48 anyway. Okay, I don't want to say only level 48, but you know, based on a dungeon and getting him another copy of him back then, level 48 Chip. So no fighter soul buffs. Okay, this is the amount of damage he can do. Very decent. And Teo hits like a truck in this setup because of Fenrir. Teo is actually on a crit based setup as well, with very high counter rate. So he hits super hard when he uses his skills, as you will see later. This is also a 4-man AoE from Phi. So yeah, it's all just benefiting from ALF's passive. And one thing that I regretted before this was that I was making ALF the speed leader in the offense team, and that really didn't work so well. In fact, I felt that ALF was dragging me down because ALF skills do not do damage. Okay, and because I didn't unlock his exclusive item, it's actually not very good that he uses skills because it doesn't really do much. As I mentioned in my part 1 video, having his debuffs, the 40% reduction in attack, really doesn't help because 40% really means nothing at this point in time. Everyone hits so hard and basically it's like, you know, it doesn't matter really. and his top skill deals more damage to magic enemies, and it's not super effective or doesn't reduce too much buff duration even from using it, so it really doesn't matter. As you can see, the damage I'm taking is insanely hard. Okay, firstly because I really don't have a defense buff compared to what they have. They have like Rudy, okay, they also have, who else? I don't know. Okay, they don't, yeah, they have Rudy, right? And they have, who's that? That pet, Ru. I don't have anything. And if anything, I think their Wukong is decreasing my defense, if I'm not wrong, or block rate, or something like that. And if you face the magic or offense team, it's even worse because they have Dylan's and Dillo that reduces defense by 4,000 in total. I'm basically almost paper when I face against those teams. So that is why I said that this team is extremely poor in defense. As you can see, I died super fast. But I can't say for sure that it is bad if I get ALF at level 44, okay? So I'm saying that ALF at level 44 can potentially change things and actually make this team work properly. Look at the damage Fire is doing. Take note that I don't have physical attack jewel on her, okay? I do not have physical attack increased jewel on her. Okay, this damage that she's doing is purely based on whatever crit and lethal rate she has and Elf's passive. And even Teo hits very decently. Yeah. So one more problem with this team is that I don't have a buff blocker, which means I don't have Dylan's on the team. I was thinking of using Dylan's instead of Fenrir, but I decided that okay, I think Fenrir will be safer because I'm gonna meet a lot of Bials on the field. Okay, so I decided that okay, I'm gonna go with Fenrir. You can always try with Dylan's to get the buff block so that they cannot cast Rudy's shield so quickly. You know, but ultimately I think Rudy's nowadays, the moment they decrease 3 turns off your buffs, it's pretty much game over for you in the next turn. So at this point my elf has died, right? And the damage you see is no longer buffed. I think Fenrir's attack there, look at the damage that the enemy is dealing. Yeah, so that's the scary part. You could cripple very quickly. But even without Elf, I think this team is still doing decently fine, actually, if you were to realize. Yeah, so I don't know, man. It's just a really troll team that I tried to put together with all the rejects. Not really all the rejects, but Fi is slowly getting rejected from what I've seen in the meta right now because of firstly elimination, and Fenrir just seems better because we're gonna have a lot of Bials going on who can do HP swaps, right? So yeah, and Chip and Teos are straight up rejects the moment they were released, which is really sad. Fenrir has been a reject for a very long time and is only surfacing right now because of Bial again. So I think this whole team is full of rejects or yesteryear heroes. So yeah, somehow they all have format AoEs. Two other potential heroes that could join this team is Iris and Orly. Surprisingly, they also have format AoEs. Orly even has 2, so if anything, I think he will also help to buff Orly. And moving forward, we may see more heroes with format AoEs if they want to really make Elf more useful. And hopefully, you know, over time when you get more Elves, Elf can actually help your defense of your team and allow you to use a team that won't be so reliant on a defense buffer that is so limited like Jack or Gerard or even Rangrid. Because Elf is that splashable to replace that hero so that you actually get extra damage buffs from him. And he can also cleanse and reduce buff duration on his turn, as I mentioned in my previous video. So I mean, looking at this, I took down the enemy team pretty decently, except that I really don't have defense and they killed me very quickly. So yeah, that's the main problem with the team. Because otherwise, I think I could actually, you know, still do something.
오늘은 당신인가요? 실험 시작! 아직 형제들이 내 검은 무적이다. 흥미로웠어. 않습니다.
Yeah, but it's just super unfortunate that it came down to this. I mean, look, I'm so close. Okay, I'm so close. If I killed the fight any earlier, she would not have this immortal form for that long. So I could have won that. I guess the problem here is with Rudy, because Rudy is super tanky and I don't have buff block. So the moment it goes to their turn on turn 2, turn 1, in fact, he will start increasing the defense and the block rate of their team, and he can also cast skill now right away and decrease my buff duration. So against Rudy, this team is kind of sketchy. Okay, it's very unfortunate that the AI decided to use the isolation when skill nullification is up. Like, come on. What are the odds? It's a 1 over 9 chance. But yeah, it just had to happen that way. Anyway, the damage you saw again was so huge. Also because I don't have defense, and Yonhee there on their side reduces my frontline defense by 2000. So a lot of things are stacked against me. Okay, at this point. Yeah. So otherwise, I think I like the idea of the team. I really do like the idea of the team. We could still do something with these heroes. I wish there was just maybe a bit of better stats, or maybe something to help the defense overall, Yeah, maybe Iris really could help. I don't know. So let me know what you think of this team I came up with. Was it fun to watch? And yeah, big shout out to my channel members, ZMD, Phoenix, Yamaki, Hibiku, and Reggie Bautista for the support. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you so much and see you.